Hello, everybody. I'm Deji11, joined today with Marcos Flores. Say hi, Marcos.
Yo.
Today we're going to do something different. Since we can't meet up because we all have lives, we decided to interview random people, YouTubers, artists, you know.
Pretty much anybody.
And our first guest today is a friend of ours, Meltingman234. Hello, Melty. How are you doing?
I'm doing fine.
Are you ready for this?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Alright, we should start with the first question. What is the origin of your username?
The origin of my username was based off of a character called the Meltingman from Nightmare Before Christmas, who was one of the many civilians in Halloween Town, known for only having one line throughout the entire film and making a few appearances here and there. And it seems like he was the one that I was interested in the most out of all the rest of them, next to like Hanging Tree and the Vampire Brothers. So I pretty much had that and used him as my icon. And then the 234 was just some random numbers. It's like, hey, Meltingman234, that's an interesting little jingle.
Interesting.
Yeah, I kept thinking for the longest time. I kept thinking that was Meltman from Action Week now.
No, not that Melting Man. Yeah, actually, no.
Alright.
For the second question, what was your inspiration for Forgotten Media?
Well, I think my inspiration was basically just more of me being more interested with lesser known media, like with Sheep in the Big City, an old cartoon show back in like the early 2000s, and nobody really talks about it. And I'm like, oh, I can't believe no one's talked about it. So I'm like, I'm gonna make a video based off of it. So I did that, and then it's like, okay, maybe I'll do a few more. And then the series, pretty much as it is here, made over 50 episodes, and nowadays I'm trying to make an episode monthly so that I don't be like so absent for so long. So I'm trying to do one for November and hopefully do a Christmas special this year.
Trust us, we have a terrible schedule. So,
don't we all?
And it's John's fault. And Deji's.
And Brianna's. And Marco's.
And it's everybody's fault.
So...
Even Gabs.
Sure, why not?
Sure, why not? Alright. Going on to question 3. What's the hardest part about making a Forgotten Media episode?
Mostly just trying to find a good amount of research to do it. Like, the most hardest episode I had to do was on, Out of Jimmy's Head. And mostly because back then of course I try to watch, videos of like, when it comes to TV shows, I try to watch all the episodes, or at least most of them. Well, without Jimmy's Head, there was none of them. Only like small bits and pieces at the time. So I had to really like think back and trying to remember the stuff that I wanted to forget.
Would you say that some of the things that Alright, when you're making an episode, do you have help? Or you're doing it solo?
I'm just really doing it solo. There's not really anyone else helping me, like with James and how he does his videos. He usually has his friend Mike helping him out. But with me, I'm just solo.
Well, if you need any help, you can have Marcos here. He's not doing much.
Yeah.
And me.
Speak for yourself, man. Alright. Alright, I guess let's go to the next question. What episode of Forgotten Media are you most proud of and least proud of?
I think my most proudest one is my episode on Dave the Barbarian, because that was more of the first attempt at showing film footage throughout the entire thing, because I did it in the Tom Foolery Show episode, and that was only like a small segment, but with here it shows it all the way. And that was a fun episode, because I remember Dave the Barbarian and how crazy that show was.
Alright, I remember that show.
Yeah. And least favorite episode, I think, would be the Serious Sam episode. Most because back then I was real lazy with first-person shooter games, because I figured, like, oh, first-person shooters, you've seen one, you've seen them all, and then, of course, Team Fortress 2 changed my mind. But with Serious Sam, I barely did any research, and that was around the time when Serious Sam 3 came out, and that was a bit stupid because, yeah, it's called Serious Sam 3 Before First Encounter. Okay, if it's a prequel, then why are you calling it Serious Sam 3 when it's not a continuation?
I never heard of Serious Sam. Is that a good thing? Am I missing much?
I don't know. I haven't really played it. I haven't played any of the Serious Sam games.
Oh. Oh. Alrighty then. Okay, well, I'll continue on the next question. Alrighty then. Is there ever a time where you have an episode of Forgotten Media and feel as if you really don't want to do it? Like you just haven't come up with an idea, I'm like, you know what, I'm not feeling up to it, or something like that.
Yeah, I think I've had those days where I just can't get into the groove of doing it. Like, yeah, I think with the canceled video game episodes, there's like so many canceled video game consoles that like, oh yeah, this is a lot. I don't know if I can do it. And then eventually I don't know, I usually kind of like take a break or maybe do some research to kind of get me more in the mood.
I see. Alright. Okay, I'll ask the next question again. Alright. Do you still... I noticed that in your videos, and in some, and your Skype icon, but I noticed in some of your videos you have some action figures, or figurines, if you will. But do you still collect action figures or figurines? And are you planning to review them? Or continue to review them?
I don't know, it's been a while since I've done figure reviews, but yeah, I've collected some NBC stuff since obviously I'm a Nightmare Before Christmas collector. But nowadays, the only thing I've been collecting are the vinyl figures from My Little Pony Friendship is Magic made by Funko, because they're a lot better than anything that Hasbro can come up with.
That's sad.
But yeah, I think maybe one of these days I'd like to get back into doing figure reviews.
Alright. Whatever happened to that Action Mario and Luigi Plus series?
No, I basically abandoned it. Because after the episode Unexpected Love, which featured my old fanfic of mine about like Crash and Rouge being a pairing. So yeah, Crash Bandicoot and Rouge the Vat. And then after that, I pretty much ran out of ideas to make more episodes. But eventually, I think I did make a script for an episode that featured like Luigi dealing with amnesia, and the villains from the show like buying pumpkin and whatnot. Like, oh yeah, you're one of us. Go fight Mario and stuff. And I had the script all finished, and I was gonna re-edit it, but apparently I lost it. So I don't know. I've always thought of doing like an episode in the summer called like a summer episode, kind of similar to the summer fun episodes made by the Cute Mario Brothers, which is the inspiration for that show.
And since you said you abandoned that, will you ever go back to that old intro you did?
Nah.
Can you tell me what was the name of the song that you used?
It was it was a song by Henworth, and it was an a cappella version. But yeah, apparently I'm not going back to it because people complained that it was too long, and I eventually got tired of using it, especially when it had It's funny, people thought that it was my Forgotten Media intro, but actually it's an intro to my other works and not just Forgotten Media. And of course it's like outdated because it shows my rants and commentaries, and obviously I don't do that stuff anymore. So I was like, well, I could have just updated it and just changed it to my RG Sonic reviews, but I'm like, nah, I'm just gonna scrap the intro entirely.
Yeah.
And just stick to title cards.
Yeah.
Question 8. Have you ever considered going back to those ranting stuff that you did in your early days?
No.
Why is that?
Yeah, mostly because I just don't have enough steam or interest making more of them. Because, like, yeah, kids on the internet, you've seen one, you've seen them all, and yeah, good luck trying to find content on a person that a thousand people have already covered. So yeah, there's not much that I can interpret. But yeah, I just lost interest. There's too much out-of-date content and whatnot. So yeah.
Okay, yeah. Because I remember watching your rant videos. They were interesting.
Yeah.
Especially of specific YouTuber, but we're not gonna get into that.
Yeah, he who must not be named.
Sure.
Are you talking about Mario?
Sure.
Yeah, Mario.
Sure, why not? Yeah, let's go with that.
Yeah, the old dead corpse that's basically just repeating the same shit over and over again. Yeah, and he only cares about the character design and not the actual game.
Yeah.
Oh boy,
Yeah.
that's. So should we move on to a new topic?
Yeah. Well, actually, one thing I want to add was that back in the day when YouTube actually had group accounts, there was one called like the what was it, like Mario to Plumber War, and it was basically like a group. It's like, yeah, we're against the guy, we want to take him down, blah 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 blah. So that was pretty short-lived, mostly because YouTube took down the YouTube group accounts, and I have no idea why. It's basically just like with the DeviantArt group accounts, just with videos instead of fan art.
Alright. So.
Alright, before we move on to anything else, I need to know, what kind of equipment do you use to make your videos?
Back in the first 50 episodes, which I like to call it as radio years, I just basically scripted it out in Pages, just like a video, like a script writing form. Then I would use some other stuff, but I basically just use iMovie to record my voice. And nowadays I actually use a camera, have myself all dressed up in a miner's costume to represent the whole, where I dig up some stuff you may or may not have heard of.
Okay.
And I just record
Better
myself
than digging up in a trash can.
everything. Yeah.
You really need to show me how to use iMovie. Perhaps that could help me a lot.
Yeah, you could contribute more to our channel.
This was just for the record, this actually was my idea. So I am contributing.
Yeah, sure. Make it look easy. It was my idea.
And not to mention that, in case you're wondering, this is our third attempt doing this due to technical difficulties.
Second.
Yeah, second.
Third.
It's our second attempt.
Actually, third. We tried to do it.
And you
for,
second.
Whatever.
And you call yourself the
Yeah,
video guy.
right. Whatever. Next question.
Alright, let's move on to...
I got a question.
Yeah.
Do you like the Mega Man franchise?
Yeah, I like the Mega Man franchise. I was more introduced to the Mega Man classics than I remember playing a little bit of Mega Man Legends 2 on the, what was it, like N64 or PlayStation and whatnot that I rented one time. But yeah, I'm kind of more familiar with the classic stuff. I'm not that familiar with X or XE, EXE or Battle Networks, whatever.
Battle Network Zero.
Battle Network sucks.
Yes, it does. Star Force. I know, and I think we just made a lot of enemies saying that right now.
Yeah, we're soon gonna make a lot of enemies for what I have to say about Sonic.
We'll get to that later.
Well, let's not talk about Sonic.
So, what do you think of the... Since you like the Archie Sonic comics, what do you think of the Archie Mega Man comics?
Oh, I thought they were pretty good. I actually thought they were kind of being a bit, at first I thought they were going to be a bit kiddie, seeing as how, like, the designs are, like, all chibi and whatnot. It's like, yeah, I'm not sure if you could make that into a serious story, but yeah, there's a bit of seriousness. But of course, more of a decent balance. They're not too dark or too stupidly funny, like, obviously, the current Sonic franchise.
Yeah, I mean, I really like them because they don't insult the audience. They know that it's all ages, but despite that, they're not just limiting themselves to kids. Like the issue about the robotics rights is like, wow, this is actually compelling.
Yeah.
So yeah. What's
still
your
haven't read
opinion
them.
on Marcos? You should do that.
Nah, I'm not planning to.
Lazy.
Do it.
Nah. Talk to me when you read Love Hina.
I am reading it.
Bullshit.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, I could tell. Horrible liar.
I have the link, so I'll read it soon.
Mm-hmm.
You have no excuse with Mega Man.
You have no excuse on Love Hina.
You have no excuse. I mentioned you should read Mega Man first.
Nah, I mentioned Love Hina.
Anyway, so Alec, what's your opinion on Mighty Number 9?
Basically, Mighty Number 9 is the legacy of Mega Man, seeing as how Mega Man's been dead in the video game business, besides his inclusion in Smash Bros. 4.
I can't wait to play this.
Oh, I'm kind of looking forward to it, but at the same time, I'm not. Especially with all the hype going around, praising it's the best thing ever. and that second Kickstarter kind of.
But don't you know, there's a third Kickstarter for DLC, that character that looks like Bass.
It's
and then there'll be a fourth one, and a fifth one.
Just wait till the game comes out before you get into the talks of DLC, talking about the animated series. That's a problem I have with Ken Penders on the Larasu Chronicles.
We'll
Yeah,
get
damn
into
you,
that
Ken
later.
Penders.
We'll get into Ken Penders later.
Okay.
The comic review.
Okay. We'll get that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Alright. Moving on to Disney talk. What's your favorite Disney film?
More into the classics, so one of my favorites is Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, because of like the history behind it and how it was the first full-length full-length animated feature, and people was like, oh no, it's not gonna work. It became Disney's folly, and then it became Disney's greatest achievement and whatnot.
Look who's laughing now. Ha ha ha.
Oh!
I mean, did you know that some people said that Walt Disney wasn't talented when he was working on comic strips?
Yeah, the same thing was said with Dr. Seuss. His teacher said that he's not an artist and he'll never amount to anything.
Who's laughing now, eh?
Yeah.
Don't you just hate him on that?
Yeah, it's like, you'll never amount to anything, or your drawings are good. I'm sorry, what? That's my student. He now writes books. Pfft, whatever. Bet you Seuss would be like, yeah, hurts, doesn't it, Teach?
What's your favorite Disney cartoon?
There's like Dave the Barbarian, obviously. It's usually one of those shows that it's so like ridiculously stupid that it's funny.
I think the guys who made Dave the Barbarian made a new show called 7D, which is pretty much the Seven Dwarfs. Because I see it and I'm getting Dave the Barbarian vibes.
I've seen a trailer for it and it looks pretty good, I guess.
And one of the dwarfs sounds like, what was the name of the uncle? Ostrich?
Yeah, Uncle Ostrich.
Ostrich.
Is that guy that has the name that sounds like ostrich?
Yeah, him.
Oswich, yeah.
Oswich, yeah. Like, one of them sounds just like him. I need to do research on that.
Well, is he voiced by Kevin Michael Richards?
Wait, Kevin Michael Richards voiced him?
Yeah, voice of Oswich, Gantu, and a whole bunch of other characters.
Yeah, I mean, I know his work, but I didn't know about Oswich. That's the more you know. Thoughts on the Kingdom Hearts franchise?
Oh, I love Kingdom Hearts.
Favorite game in the series?
Oh, let's see.
Kingdom Hearts is awesome.
Kingdom Hearts 2. I also like Birth by Sleep and Dream Drop Distance, mostly because of the crazy gameplay mechanics of just jumping around everywhere.
Hey Marcos, have you finally beat that boss?
What boss?
This Julius, or what's his name?
Yeah, dude, I beat him like a long time ago. I told you this. You know, Jake on, yeah. Dude, fuck that boss. I just kept, I was desperate, so I just kept spamming Balloon Aura. I was desperate. Would you like to beat him?
Well, to be fair, I've never
fair and square. Well, then
I've never
shut
played a
the
Kingdom
fuck
Hearts
up.
game in my life, so
Well, then.
Still, it's cheating.
Not really. It's not cheating if it's in the game, but whatever. It's a unarguable debate. People have done it.
Yeah.
Sure. I've noticed that Alec, do you have any inspiration when you're making your videos?
Inspiration?
Yeah, like do you have any like
Like a specific person or like YouTuber or whatever.
Yeah, like AVGN and Nostalgia Critic or someone else. Yeah.
I don't know. I'm kind of a bit inspired by James Rolfe for his like his movie reviews and not just his AVGN stuff where he just reviews them like casually, talks about like the basic idea of what the movie is, and then talks about what's like good, what's bad, what's all of this and that. And then of course nowadays I'm a bit inspired from Nostalgia Critic from how he just usually films himself in front of like a white wall. And yeah, same with me, I just film myself on a couch and try to like keep in focus and do some hand motions and whatnot.
Oh, so you're Linkara.
No, Linkara is the guy that does comic book reviews.
Yeah, I know, but I'm just saying, you say you're filming in front of a couch, and that's what he does.
You get to film and review on a comfortable
seat. Of course, the only
seat.
difference is that he gets paid for his stuff and I don't. Yeah, I'm an indie tuber. Whoosh.
Not yet. I mean, that might change. Maybe, we don't know.
Yeah, well, seeing as how poorly made the YouTube partnership has become, yeah, the chances of me being a YouTube partnership chances are 1,000,000 to none.
Yeah, we don't know that. Considering your views.
Oh yeah, like almost was it like 9? I have been pestered by like people back in the past, like, oh, be a YouTube partner, and I pretty much ignored all of them.
What would you say that if you had to be one, would you do it?
I don't know. It depends on if they do a better job with handling their copyright stuff. Because we all know how YouTube does. And
yeah, their copyrights have been more strict recently.
Yeah, so we all know how YouTube doesn't know what the differences of fair use and whatnot.
Yeah. Alright, so I think it's time that we move on to, before we get to Sonic Talk, Tim Burton. What is your favorite Tim Burton film? Besides Nightmare on Elm Street. Nightmare Before Christmas.
Nightmare on Elm Street.
Besides Nightmare Before Christmas. I don't know why I'm mixing those two up lately.
I don't blame you.
Well, let's see, I like Corpse Bride, and it felt like at the time it was becoming a bit underrated, but nowadays it's gotten the recognition it deserves. Then I also like Frankenweenie, of course the original and the remake. And because like the remake was more of like a love letter to like classic horror films. Like instead of just the Frankenstein monster style, we got to see like others like The Mummy, the Werewolf, Van Helsing, Dracula, Gremlins, and a couple of others. And oh yeah, I also like the Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, because anyone who has seen the original has never read the original book, and comparing the two films, the remake does a better job with following the original book. Just adding a few things, like giving Wonka a backstory of how he had issues with his father being a dentist.
Yeah, kind of like
AKA how Count Dooku.
Oh, kind of like how some people hate the 2009 Speed Racer movie, despite the fact that it's more accurate to the original source of material, not the anime. The manga.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Yeah, people are that stupid and fanboyish.
I think it's one of those, it's what you're exposed to first, and not having that knowledge of something else, seeing a different interpretation of it can ruin your mood of it. Kind of like how some people don't really like certain other interpretations of another thing, like some people hate
like
Teen Titans Go. But since you mentioned it, time for Sonic Talk.
Whoa. Before we get into Sonic Talk, I want to ask Alec a question.
Yeah?
How'd you get introduced to the Crash Bandicoot series?
Oh, let's see. When I got introduced to Crash Bandicoot, that was back in the day when I played Crash Bandicoot 3, which was the first Crash game I played and also the first video game that I played.
Same here, Rufus.
Interesting for me is my first video game was Crash 2 for the PS1.
Yeah. So after Crash 3, I kind of worked backwards and getting on it, and I continued on from there. Then, of course, nowadays, I basically just gave up, seeing as how Crash is dead nowadays. Yeah, damn you, Activision!
Yeah. Still better than being bought by Microsoft.
Yeah, still better than being bought by Microsoft.
No, wait, actually it's not, because what if Crash Bandicoot became a Skylander toy?
Then the series would be dead, indefinitely.
Oh, that was terrible. And how did you get introduced to Banjo-Kazooie as well? 'Cause I know
Let's see. I had a friend of mine who had this video. It was like a advertisement for the game, so I like watched it, and it was like, oh, so cool, and I really wanted it, but of course I didn't have an N64, so that was the main reason why I wanted an N64, just to play Banjo-Kazooie. And then I later played some other games on the system, like Super Smash Brothers and Super Mario 64, and a few others.
kind of makes me wonder, why did the 3D platform genre die?
When
Because more
first-person
people are,
shooters
yeah,
stopped.
first I was about to say that, yeah. First-person shooters took over.
Yeah, playing
No.
on it, you know.
No, it's not only that. It's more like we still have platformers, but they're just side scrollers. It's like
I think they're just not around, or not that many people want to go effort into like going to 3D department of platforming,
Because
because
video game companies are that lazy, apparently.
lazy, and probably because, I don't know, maybe they want a higher pay rate.
I mean, I can understand indie developers, but actual developers, it's like, come on, guys, let's try this again. As much as I love as much as I have a huge fanboy bias towards the 3D Mario games, I like.
That's he's awesome.
3D World is awesome.
I said Super Mario Brothers 3.
I was talking about the
For the
3D.
I know. I just want to mention the NES.
No one cares.
Yeah, there's a lot of people.
World is better.
And debatable.
Yes, it is. Even Nintendo recently made a video talking about that, which game had more impact. But that's not. Are we all ready for Sonic talk?
Yeah.
Be very afraid.
How did you first get into Sonic the Hedgehog franchise?
Well, let's see. I think I remember back when I was catching an episode of Adventures of Sonic, back when they aired it on Disney Channel, that I kind of forgot about it for a while. Then, when it came to the games, I think the first Sonic game I played was Sonic Heroes on the GameCube. And then with the comics, I got introduced to it when my dad got me the story arc of Tossed in Space. And I think that's basically how I got introduced to most of the Sonic franchising.
Alright. Marcos, why don't you take the floor?
Okay, what's your favorite Sonic game?
Just ask me. Oh, my favorite stuff. I like the adventure games. Shadow the Hedgehog was decent. Then, of course, I liked Unleashed, in which I felt that Sonic Unleashed was the last best Sonic game. Because after that, Sonic Colors came in, and that game was absolute rubbish.
Can you explain
debatable.
why you don't like it?
Debatable, my ass.
I don't know.
No.
Colors is great. Unleashed could go.
Would you like to explain? I want to hear this.
Yes, I'd like to explain why I'm like one of the few people that has a flaming hatred against Colors.
I'm more indifferent towards it, but I want to hear your opinions.
Colors is better than Unleashed by far.
Hey, shut up!
Yeah, suck it, Alec.
Just go ahead and explain.
Okay. Yeah, reason why I hate Colors. Yeah, gameplay and how the game has it heavily advertises it being a 3D game. Who's 3D? 3D. Yeah, well, it's 3D. 90% of the time. Most of the time, the game forces you to go 2D. So I refuse to call this game a quote-unquote 3D Sonic game. And after that, the gameplay is just way too freaking easy.
Wait.
There's like no challenge, no obstacles. They can be taken down in like instantly.
I think the reason why they kept hyping it up as a 3D game was because it came out the same year as Sonic 4 Episode 1. So, in a way to differentiate the two,
Barely.
regardless, they just had to do it, so I can't really blame them for it. What did you think of the Wisp?
Yeah, the Wisps were kind of cool.
Better than the average Mario Power?
Nah. But like they're just okay. And of course, like besides gameplay being way too easy, the other thing that really pissed me off was the writing. Yeah. Oh god, the writing was just purely awful. Yeah. It's nowadays it fuels my anger whenever somebody mentions Pontac and Graph.
To be fair, it was kind of their first time, so I could give it a
And
pass
plus,
for that.
it wasn't the first. You do realize that this wasn't their plot. They were just pretty much writing the dialogue. Lost World was the only game where they came up with the original plot.
If you could call it the original plot.
Their own plot. And, you okay?
Yeah.
Okay. And, I think the reason why people hate them now is because the bombshell Ken Pontac drops. He claims that he and Warren aren't fans of the franchise, and they looked up information through Wikipedia.
Yeah, but boy, did that start so many rage, which I don't blame them, because it's like, yeah, we don't know much about story or any other character, so we'll just look it up on Wikipedia, lazy asses. The same thing was said about Teen Titans Go.
No,
writers say they never saw an episode of the original series.
You know what the hilarious thing about that part is? They said, "Oh, Teen Titans, it was a great series. Yeah, great series. Never seen an episode. Yep." What?
It's
you just
contradicted yourself.
But going back to Pontac and Kraft, I'm not mad at them that they looked it up on Wikipedia, because Ian Flynn did the same thing with Mega Man. He looked it up through the Mega Man wiki because Mega Man and Base has information about the Robot Masters, and also, but in addition to that, he also played the games.
See, that's a guy who does his research.
And he looked through other media, such as the TV show, and yeah. So it doesn't bother me with that. It's more like Sega entitled these guys to write the script to their games, but the way it came off is like they didn't supply them with any information about the franchise at all, which makes me wonder if they care about the story.
They really don't. They really don't.
Yeah, Pontac and Graf care about story.
Sega.
Well, yeah, Sega doesn't give a damn about story.
And speaking of Pontac and Graf, they're writing the 3DS version of Sonic Boom.
In which I'm going to ignore that.
Speaking of Boom, what's your opinion on it?
Which one? The show? The game?
In general.
Sonic Boom. Yeah, Sonic Boom is just basically Sega's attempt to try and appease Sonic to the kiddie audience of like ages 3 and 5.
Well, that's a bit low.
It's more like 5 to 8 year olds.
Yeah.
Let's not go too deep into this, because
but I want to hear it.
No, because you do realize me and Alec are gonna have to sidetrack on this, right?
Yes. Go ahead. I'm perfectly fine.
We actually have one thing in common. Go ahead, Alex. It's weird of you go ahead and start. Talk us what you don't like about Boom.
Knuckles is a real idiot. That was one of my fears about
stereotype with the ass.
One of my fears about Boom was that the new design of Knuckles means, okay, is he gonna be the big on muscle and small on brain power stereotype? And it turns out, yep, he is.
Oh god!
And that's when I declared that Knuckles the Echidna was dead. Yeah, the real Knuckles the Echidna, not this stupid bullshit that's been going on.
Previews for the pages, then I read the first issue. It was so bad. And then hearing the preview audio recordings for the other episodes.
Whoa, I saw. Don't say so.
Don't make me punch you.
There are things inside these things.
Oh. Like you're doing this on purpose. You're doing this on purpose.
Yeah, apparently people just enjoy flanderizing Knuckles being a real dumbass. He's about as useless as a sack of potatoes.
Exactly, and he's my favorite Sonic character.
He's my favorite character too.
Yeah.
Because I'm not... Okay, this is just me. I treat this as a different universe. Completely different. I forget everything I know about the main series and treat it as its own thing.
Yeah, like the black sheep of the family.
No, that's Sonic Underground.
Yeah, well...
No.
Debatable. Hey.
Yeah,
Debatable. Sonic X is a black sheep.
No, I'd rather
Unless you watch the Japanese version.
X is crappy in general, but I'd still watch X over
I'd
Underground.
rather watch Sonic Underground than Sonic X.
So you're willing to finish the entire series of
I'd
Underground?
rather sit through Sonic Labyrinth than to sit through Sonic Colors.
Whoa, that's a big word there, buddy.
Oh,
Have you played Sonic Labyrinth?
No, but I know what it is.
say that!
Say that! I played Sonic Labyrinth, and it's
Hey,
So have I!
hey, I've heard you can unlock Sonic Labyrinth in the Sonic Adventure DX edition on the GameCube by collecting a whole bunch of emblems.
I think you can play it in Sonic Mega Collection, if I'm not mistaken.
No, it's not in Mega Collection, and it's not in Gem Collection.
Anyway,
Don't say
your
that.
thoughts on the Archie comic with the Sonic comics?
Yeah, Sonic Archie comics. Oh, they're great. Yeah, even with the forced reboot, it's good.
Yeah, we'll get into that when we do our comic book retrospective. It's still in the works. So,
Yeah.
This is good. And so, what's your thoughts on Worlds Unite?
It's a bit interesting seeing them doing another Sonic and Mega Man crossover so soon. And of course, this has already fueled the Save Archie Sonic groups like, oh, this is our chance to get the old continuity back. Hey-ba-doo-ba-doo-ba-doo.
You do realize that's not going to happen, right?
We know
Yeah.
they're just. I don't want
Yeah,
to say
the
they're
old continuity
fools
is
believing
about as
false hope, but I'm just saying
They're in the
it's not
know.
going to happen. They're
Yeah.
in denial. Yeah.
yeah, the old continuity is about as dead as I don't know, Mickey. No, not Mickey. It's about as dead as William Hartnell.
The guy who played Egon?
Yeah, no, the guy who played the first Doctor in Doctor Who.
Sorry, because I remember you made this comparison earlier before we started this.
Oh yeah, I made like a grim comparison. It's like, oh, we still have a chance to. bring
Okay,
back
okay,
the-
no, don't even finish that, please, please. Don't.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you had deleted the original cut, we would have had the other controversial talk about
Yeah,
a certain DeviantArt person.
yeah, let's
Yeah.
not go there.
Yeah. Well,
Uh,
I think that wraps about the interview.
But I have one last question. What does the future hold for Meltingman234?
I don't know, more Forgotten Media episodes and more Gmod comics, and I don't know. If there was ideas for a Forgotten Media movie, then like, yeah, I'd be hooked to it.
2. Where's our Worlds Collide review?
That's, I don't know, that's kind of a bit of, I don't know. I have like the all 12 issues in graphic novel form, so it's gonna be a while since it's gonna be a while for me to get back into doing Archie Sonic reviews.
Well, I'm here. I want to do this co-op review thing.
Well, too bad. I have theater performance today, and I have to perform Adam's Family.
Alright, so... Yeah.
That about
Thank
wraps
you
up
for-
this interview.
Thank you for having us here, and
Mm-hmm.
stay tuned for our next interview, where we will interview who's next on the list.
Sasuke 419.
Yeah!
Yeah, woo! Deji's not looking forward to it.
Oh, I'm looking forward to this.
All right, good. All right.